Warriors. All right, Warriors. We had a couple comments on our last video that says we need to go deeper. And you know what we do with cutoff shirts and long-haired hippie guys is we go deep, Warriors. So today we're going to go deep into the NFT gaming world. I mean, so deep that we brought somebody who's engrossed in it. But first, I want to introduce you to our beautiful team. So I know BitBoy says they're hardest working channel. We're the best looking and the hardest working channel in the world. All right, so I'm Coach JV. We got Abdullah, we got Antonio, the NFT Tones, we got Johnny Crypto, and Mario. All love BitBoy. We're all growing together out here. All right, Warriors, so let's go ahead and get it kicked off. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going deep into NFTs and gaming. So I have a 5-year-old son and a 17-year-old daughter, and what I always say to myself, if you want to learn what to invest in, look at what the kids are doing. The younger adults have it all figured out. So all the stuff that annoys us and pisses us off as 45 and older baby boomers, that's the stuff you should be looking at investing. They have the answer. Just like when my son walked up to me with his I think it was a Minecraft game, and in the movie theater they had the Dogecoin on the back of the seats. He said, "Dad, look, that's a Dogecoin." A 5-year-old. So Warriors, you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention to what's happening. What we're first going to do, though, we're going to watch a video, Warriors. This is going to be really exciting. So if you haven't seen the movie Ready Player One, you need to go watch it. Ready Player One, I used this actually for a rabbit hole video I did last year that got a ton of views because Ready Player One is predicting exactly where we're going. Now, as we show you Ready Player One, I want you to look for signs, symbols that you've seen within society that are changing. And as you watch that video, when we dive deep into these NFTs, you're going to be shocked how close we are to this actual model in Ready Player One. So without further ado, let's watch this video.
My name's Wade Watts. My dad picked that name because it sounded like a superhero's alter ego, like Peter Parker or Bruce Banner. But he died when I was a kid, my mom too. And I ended up here. Sitting here in my tiny corner of nowhere. There's nowhere left to go. Nowhere. Except the Oasis. A whole virtual universe. People come to the Oasis for all the things they can do. But they stay because of all the things they can be.
Can you feel this?
Yeah. It's the only place that feels like I mean anything. The Oasis was the brainchild of James Halliday.
Hello. If you're watching this, I'm dead. I created a hidden object, an Easter egg. The first person to find the egg will inherit $500 billion and total control of the Oasis itself.
Who is this Parzival, and how the hell is he winning?
Find him. This isn't just a game. I'm talking about actual life and death stuff.
The Oasis.
The world's most important economic resource.
It's nothing less than a war for control of the future.
Welcome to the rebellion, Wade.
All right, Warriors, are you ready for the future of bandwidth wars? You have seen nothing yet, Warriors. So what we're going to do is we're going to kick it over to Johnny Crypto. He's going to take us through a beautiful presentation, and then he's going to introduce us to a very, very special guest. Now, what we did, Warriors, is we went right to the source. So we're not going to go just research this. We're going to somebody who's deep engrossed into the gaming NFTs, and we're going to do some hot fire questions to learn as much as we can to help you understand the game so you can't be played. So I'm going to kick it over to Johnny Crypto.
What's up, Warriors? How we doing today?
Let's go.
All right, man. Really excited today to be talking to you about NFTs. What the heck are they? How do they work? Can you make money off of them? So let's dive right deep into that. And then, as Coach said, we're going to introduce a special guest here that's going to talk to you about how he grew his portfolio, how he created residual income, and maybe may never have to work a day in his life. So with that said, let's share the screen here. And hopefully you guys can see the full screen there.
Yep, we're good to go.
All right. So when we talk about NFTs, before we jump into NFTs, we first have to understand the F. What the heck is fungible? Everybody says to me, Johnny, what is an NFT? What does it mean? You first need to understand what fungible means. So fungible means something that has units, can be interchanged easily. Think of money, gold, cryptocurrency, right? I got 2 10s, I give it to you, you give me a 20 back. I know what it's worth, right? You give me 1 gold bar, I give you a bunch of silver gold bars back. You can interchange them easily. Something used every day on a daily basis. So now when you understand what fungible means, then it's pretty obvious that non-fungible means just the opposite, right? Something that's not easily interchangeable. Something that there's really only one of a kind in the, in the real world assets, or one of a kind asset in the digital world, right? That can be bought and sold kind of like a different piece of property, but doesn't have a fixed set value. Like a $1 is always going to be $1, right? A Mona Lisa, well, that could be a different value depending on what it's worth at that moment in time. So think of it that way. So when we dive into, now we understand the definition of an NFT, what actually are NFTs? What can qualify as NFTs? So first of all, NFTs, as we talk about, it's like a digital or data representation of the certificate of either ownership or authenticity of something, a physical asset or a virtual asset, like paintings, houses, artwork, things like that. And they run on the Ethereum blockchain, although that will expand. They're growing it into other blockchains as well. And it has smart contract capability. That's very important. So 2 of the biggest NFTs out there right now is art and gaming. So those are the 2 big ones. But there's also NFTs on gifts, videos, collectibles, virtual avatars. It's just going to continue to grow and grow and grow. But basically, in a nutshell, the 2 big ones today that you're hearing everybody talking about is art and gaming. So how do these things work? Basically, think of NFTs as like physical collector's items, but primarily digital. So instead of you buying an actual, oil painting you might hang on the wall, you get the digital file of that oil painting, which now you are the owner of that authentic device or that authentic whatever it is, picture, music, and you basically get exclusive ownerships of that rights. And the cool thing about it is NFT only has one owner at a time. So it's yours, you own it, and you then can decide to do with it, whether you want to keep it, sell it, you can do whatever you want with it. But basically the data within it makes it very easy to know you own it, and because of the blockchain, and then when you want to transfer it on. And the creators, is pretty cool. Creators can actually sign them and embed their names in it and things like that, so you know who created it. But let's get into really what the value of it is, right? Because that's all we care about. What's the benefit of NFTs? Why are we even doing this? So really, there's value in 2 areas, mainly to the creator or the artist. So whoever creates the content, if you're an artist, like a physical drawing artist, or if you're a music artist, you actually now have the opportunity to monetize your work. So for example, in the past, if you were an artist and you drew something up, you wanted to sell it, you went to an auction house or you went to a museum or a store and you had to go list it and sell it. And maybe they would take your product, maybe they wouldn't. And if they did, then they sold it, they were getting half the money anyway because they're the middleman, right? The beauty of NFTs, just like the rest of decentralized crypto market, is you now become the owner. You chop the middleman out and you can sell your product, and you get to keep all the money to it. So it's a lot easier to list it, and it's a lot easier profitable wise. You own the rights. Nobody can steal it from you. So look at this little image up here, this stupid little image on the right side, or I call it stupid, but it's not. It's worth $600,000. This item sold. It's called the Nyan cat, and you just see a cat with a Pop-Tart flying through the air. That thing, that image, that digital image right there sold for $600,000. And they've even sold for more than that. But it just gives you an idea of really the size of the market and the opportunity of what you can do if you're an artist in the space. The other thing that's really cool about NFTs, because it's built on smart contracts, is as the creator of the content, you can actually program in royalties, which means in the past, whenever a song plays on the radio, typically the artist gets paid whenever that music is played, or if an actor gets paid when his movie plays over and over again. That's called a royalty. But not every actor or every musician is smart enough to write a royalty contract into their contract, so they don't always get paid. But in NFTs, you can create a royalty. So now when you create an item, like this $600,000 item, and whoever bought it, if that guy sells it to somebody else, the original creator is going to get a piece of that. Every time it's resold, because he created it, he gets a royalty every time it's sold down the road. So that's huge. So again, if you're a creator, if you're an artist out there, you're a creative person, you're going to love NFTs. It's made for you, and it's going to let you monetize your work without worrying about the middleman anymore. So very exciting. I wish I was gifted. I wish I could sing or draw. I can't do either, so I won't even try. But talking about now the common other side of the coin, purchasers like us, if you're buying an NFT, what you're really buying is essentially the bragging rights to own it. You own the authenticity of that item, and if it goes up in value or down in value, you can sell it and you can make a gain on it, or you could just keep it forever. But basically, in a nutshell, that's kind of the benefits of NFTs and how they work. So you're now going to say to me, all right, well, where the hell do I get these things? So there's many, many places you can buy them. These are the top 3 most visited sites for NFTs. So OpenSea.io, you probably heard of it. This is a peer-to-peer platform that has rare digital items. So you can go there, just create an account and get started. Rareables is another one, similar to OpenSea, where it's, again, artists will be there selling their NFTs. They use the Rari token to do that. And then Foundation is a little different. You actually have to receive enough votes and get invitations to post your stuff there. So, but anyway, more importantly, those are the areas, and you can Google it. There's many more places, but those are the top 3 where people are buying them from. Now, we're going to talk today and focus about how NFTs are changing really the game. I told you there's many places, art, videos, but gaming is one of the places where it can be huge. And we're seeing a lot of activity here. So when you look at the old world gaming world, there's no way to extract the money out of that. So, if you're like me and you spent hours and hours of endless time playing video games and building up your character and getting them really leveled up high and getting all these special, unique, rare, weapons and items and stuff. The reality is when you're done playing the game, what happens? You all know what happens. Nothing. You just, all that time and money you spent was wasted. You don't get any of it back. You can't monetize it. It's just gone, right? Well, this is why the world is changing and why all the kids are hopping into NFTs. Because in the future world of gaming, NFTs now enable you to monetize all that work and effort you've done. So when you're playing a game and it's NFT are enabled or able to do, you build these in-game items so that anything you buy, earn, craft, make, find, level up, all of that character and those items are now yours. And more importantly, this is what I always talk about, you get paid to play games because you can actually take these items and you can sell them. You can sell them to somebody else who might just be getting in the game and doesn't want to spend countless hours leveling their guys up. They can just buy it right from you, right? And so this is just a huge secondary market that's happening right now, because not only can you buy an item, but you might make an axe in one game, and all of a sudden now you can actually transfer it to another game and play. That's unheard of in the old gaming world. So we're just at the tip of the iceberg here, Coach, but this is really, really huge because it really now allows people to extract the value out of all those hours. God, I wish I could get even 10% of those hours back that I put and extract them and turn them into value. And that's what's really exciting for the future. So the kids are where they're at and they're all learning. So when we look at the gaming landscape, this is just to give you a little bit of an idea of what's happening out there. I tried to break it down first into the category of games. So you got breeding and battle games. You got mining games, card games, virtual games, role-playing games, and there's many, many more. But the reality is these are some of the big ones that are out there. And the biggest game out there right now is called Axie Infinity. So people who are watching this video, if you know something about NFTs, most likely you've heard about this. The AXS token is going nuts. It was selling for $1 a few months ago. Now it's $70, somewhere in the $70 range. It's just skyrocketing. But that's the #1 most popular played game right now. Mining game, Alien Worlds is the most popular game. So, and then you'll see some of the other ones. But if you take a look down below, I was able, this website, there's a site out there that tells you how many players are playing games in the last 7 days. Look at this, Coach. Axie Infinity, over 1 million players right now are playing Axie Infinity. That's 1 million. Alien World's almost, close to 1 million, 750,000. And then it drops off pretty dramatically there. So those top 2 games are huge. But here's what's really exciting. That's 1 million players. Maybe there's, 2-3 million right there? Okay, so today, right now, as we stand today, there are 227 million gamers in the USA today. Let me say that again. 227 million gamers in America today. And what do you see on this list? Maybe 2 million at the most. So think of the upside potential when those 225 other million people figure out that, oh shit, I can actually get paid to play video games. You can just imagine what's going to happen. So for those who are in early, oh baby, it's going to be big. It's going to be real big. So with that said, I'd like to introduce our special guest today. He's an NFL gamer. His name's NFT Tones. He turned 20K into 150K in a few months. He's also learned how to turn that and generate that into residual income. And more importantly, he's only 23 years old. I don't know if this kid's ever going to work a day in his life. Boy, I wish I was young again. With that said, turn it over to you.
All right. Welcome, Warriors. It's good to be here. And I'm NFT Tones, and I am heavily invested into NFT. I got into NFT 6 months ago thanks to Coach JV. He showed us crypto, and my dad pushed me further along into it, and I saw potential upside with NFTs, and I really like how NFTs, like how they were. And so I started investing more, and I started with only 20,000 back then, and it grew and it grew and it grew. And some of the things that I took a look into back then was Alien Worlds, Splinterlands, and there's some of the more popular games that are doing well now. The thing I want to put on to a lot of people is that there's a lot going on in the NFT space. There's games, there's land, there's so much to do, and there's a lot of it that you can make passively or you can do actively. And it all depends how much time you have and how much money you're willing to invest.
So can you tell us a little bit more about NFTs in general? What's one of your favorite games, and how, if somebody wants to get into it, where should they get started?
I think my top two favorite games would be Alien Worlds or Splinterlands. They're both very, very different. Alien Worlds is a mining game, like you said, and it's still very early in development. They released their lands in December, and they released them for about $100 to $150, and now they are selling for $8,000 to $15,000. The price change on those has been insane, and that's due to the coin for the game being listed on Binance, and due to that happening, everything flew, and the coin ended up going up to $8, and then it crashed back down to about 45 cents to 50 cents. So that's where we are right now with the coin. But ever since, a lot of the game has been doing well because the game pays out daily revenue by owning land. So the more land you own, the more you get paid out. So a lot of people back in the day were selling their land because they didn't think it was going to be useful. And instead, I know people who were even giving away the land. So instead, it bit them in the butt, and now land is selling for $8,000. And if they kept that land, it would be producing $40 to about $50 a day.
Wow. Okay. So I have a question. Okay. So when we did the pre-interview, we were talking about, okay, let's help people like me, who's not a gamer. I've never been a gamer. I've never really been into gaming. Now the way that you understand, like I'm into the business part of it, right? So I have Decentraland, I have Mana, and you shared with me that, okay, so in the world of Mana and Decentraland, you're in this world, right? So there's people now that are building casinos inside of Decentraland, and you can buy NFT that will allow you to make money off people who are gambling in the casino inside of a virtual world. Is that correct?
Okay. Yes, it was called Gambling Apes. Yes.
Yeah, walk me through that, because like I think it's really going to be hard for people, baby boomers or people my age, to really rationalize where we're heading. And I think Johnny did a great job of explaining that, like where, you know, these parents, and this is why I really want to hone in on this. These parents are like, you saying their kids, oh, all you do is play video games. Well, this is the opportunity for your kids to, if they're really into it, to express their talent in it and actually monetize this, our kids may end up making way more money than we ever did if you're able to foster this. So help us understand, like, how does that all connect, like Mana and the casino and all that?
Okay, so how it all connects is with the gambling apes. So they specifically bring to their NFTs, and a lot of NFTs usually they don't have a lot of utility. These are the first guys that have a lot of utility. Their NFTs allow you to, they give you access, like I said, to become an owner in the casino. And so a lot of NFTs don't have any kind of utility. Some do with the games and stuff, but most others don't. And so what's cool about the gambling apes is after they complete their minting event, they will build the casino in Decentraland, like we said, on pre-purchased estate. And all owners of the gambling apes will receive a share of the casino profits, with proceeds sent directly to the wallets holding gambling apes. So gambling apes owners also will be invited to exclusive casino events and parties and tournaments that are closed to the public. So it's kind of cool in a sense where a lot of NFTs aren't doing that kind of thing where they're paying out like their holders and stuff. Like they're doing airdrops and stuff, but nothing like as crazy as that. Like that's the first project I'm seeing that is kind of going above and beyond.
Gotcha. And I think go ahead, Mark.
Yeah. So when I was looking at some of this stuff earlier this week, what I realized is that a lot of the success depends on how easily or how capable you are of getting your users hooked into the ecosystem, continuing to come back and continuing to invest. How long do you think it is before we see a lot of these mainstream games, for example, NBA 2K and COD and all those mainstream already have a really good user base adopting some of these security and NFT tokens?
I think it's going to be very soon. From what I heard is EA is already looking into blockchain and all that type of stuff for FIFA and for their bigger games. Because I don't know if you guys play FIFA or Madden, but they have Ultimate Team, and it's basically where you buy and sell players. Yeah. So I don't know for sure, but I'm presuming that they're trying to NFTize that aspect of the game, so that then they can make money off the secondary market.
Great. And then a follow-up question I had would be, when people start adopting these NFT tokens within their games, do you think other users and other platforms that don't offer a way to make money are just going to be totally left behind? Or is there some other form of innovation that they're going to adopt?
I think there could be some form of other innovation, possibly if they keep dropping NFTs. But I think the coin, any game with a coin is going to do very, very well.
Cool.
Yeah. I have a question, Antonio. So for somebody for example, me, I've never been into NFTs. The only thing I participated as far as NFTs is I bought some of those unstoppable domains. But for somebody that wants to get into NFTs, whether it be gaming or collectibles, how would someone get started? I mean, besides the wallet, is there like a standardized universal wallet, or is there multiple?
So every blockchain generally has their own wallet. So for Ethereum, there's MetaMask, but MetaMask works with multiple blockchains if you know how to change the
network.
Yeah, the network settings. But there's a lot, like Wax only works with the Wax wallet. And then on Matic, you have all the Matic money and all that. But a lot of the wallets generally, like on Solano, you have the Phantom wallet. So depending on what network you're on, you have to do the research to see what is supported for each network. Because as I said, all the wallets they can be different.
This is really exciting because I just want to share a quick story. So my brother, he's very big into gaming. He, all these games like Call of Duty, he does everything, but he's not the kind of person to really put himself out there as far as like creating a YouTube channel. So basically he spends tons of hours playing games and he makes no money out of it. And bringing NFTs to gaming, I mean, once we start seeing, like he was just saying, my brother plays FIFA a lot, and he's in that. He's always buying these players or trading these players, and if that gets tokenized, where he could start monetizing from that, I mean, that's just going to be huge.
Yeah, there could be a lot of potential there, and I think it could be really great for EA too, because a lot of these companies aren't making as much money as you think.
Right.
They really aren't, and I think if they got a little boost from the secondary market, they won't be so greedy either.
Okay, so I want to. So Johnny, you brought this up. You know, you went from. I want people to rationalize this and think about this. The current education system, right? People go to school for 6 to 9 years to make $150,000 a year, right? And you started out with $20,000. And how long did it take you to make 100? Now, one thing I'll share with you guys. I know there's no get rich quick, right? But it's how long did it take you to get to $150,000?
It took me about a few months, but.
Few months. Few months. That's awesome. Hold on. Let's stop for a moment. Okay, so that I think. Hold on. I really need to jump on this because I want people to understand what he just said. He said, "Okay, what's happening is the reticular activating system of humans. The paradigm is opening up to a whole new reality. Like, really think about that for just a moment. Like, that's no big deal. $150, or $150,000 in a few months. Like." A paradigm is shifting to a whole new quantum realm where the money, like $1 billion is the new million. And so a trillion is like, now we have so like, really think about what he just, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like, that's powerful. So a couple months to make $150,000. Now, how did you do that? Were you like, share with us what the process was to get there?
So first thing I did was I bought Splinterland's land at $20 a piece. And this was back when they had it in stock. So I bought 100 lands because I saw how land was doing. And I personally was like, all right, I want to get into more land. And so I bought 100 Splinterland's land. And now those lands today, each land is selling at about $400 to $500. So that's 40 to 50 grand right there, depending on when you sell it and the time of day. But the highest I've seen them was $700. So at one point they were $70K. So, and the reason why I didn't sell them is because I feel like there's greater potential in them. I feel like one day that those lands alone could be worth 250 to 300K. But it depends on how lucky you are. Like there's been wild things that I bought. Like the last thing I bought was a chicken, and the chicken, it's a racing chicken. I don't know if you guys heard of Zed Run, but it's like a thing where you buy horses and the horses race and you gamble on them. Well, this is the same type of concept, except it's kind of like Mario Kart, like S-themed chickens, and they have like abilities. So my chicken right now ends up selling for about like 7 to 10K because the chicken has the princess royal trait or whatever it's called, and it's the rarest trait. There's only 162 chickens with that trait. Wow. So it's weird and crazy, like how the NFT market is blowing up. Like there's so many things, like the Alien Worlds land I invested in at $1,475. Now it's worth 8K. There's a lot of things it's amazing how things blown up. Avigachis were things I got in at $180. Some of them are worth 2K to 5K. One of mine is actually worth $20,000. So they really are wild. Like Avigachis, NFTs, anything game related, I feel like is really going to blow up.
Yes. Abs, go ahead.
So another question I have when I was looking at this is, does it follow the Bitcoin cycle of like 1,440 days, kind of the 4-year cycle where you have this reoccurring bear market? Or is it kind of its own, does it go at its own pace?
Personally, I feel like it's going to go at its own pace. I haven't seen the bear market too much. I've seen a little bit of it, but I think that even in the bear market that the NFTs are going to hold up because they give you an opportunity to earn. Like Axie Infinity 2 years ago wasn't as built up yet. It still had people playing. And now look at it. Now it's really built up and it has a ton of people playing. I think it'll keep growing, and even in a bear market, people will continue to play it because they know in a few years it'll be back and it'll be stronger than ever.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah. So like for example, I own the mana, right? And so what does that mean that I own land, or do I just own the?
So with the mana coin, you own the mana. So with that, by that I mean you only own the token. So to buy the mana land, you would actually, I don't know the precise website, but there's a website that you go to, and it'll show you all the blocks or like little squares of land, and you can buy each individual land. Now, a lot of those land pieces now are expensive, definitely.
Now I would use my mana coin to buy the land. Got it. Okay. And so this is so intriguing, man. This is so that's why the Ready Player One, they're preparing us for this world. And it's I mean, who would have thought we would be doing this when you had a beeper, right? So if you really think, I mean, it's coming, Wars. And that's when you talk about this, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, man, I'm gonna become a real estate mogul in the freaking virtual world, man. I mean, you really ideally could do that, right?
Yeah, 100%. Honestly, that's my goal. My goal is to have a ton of lands so that I'm constantly being paid out. Like I said, my Alien World land pays me out daily. I want more of that kind of things. Like a lot of these games are starting to go around the asset of like Axie did with sponsoring, and so people can rent out Axies. So a lot of things that are coming. So like Avogachis, you'll be able to rent out eventually. And so a lot of these things are going to become more and more interesting and more developed and built. And as these things happen, I think we're going to see a greater increase in people coming into the environment, and as these games increase. Because I heard news that I forget the name of the game, but next year they're going to release Engine is releasing a game for PC and Xbox that's an MMO. Wow. So I think that's really, really big.
Wow.
Yeah. Coach, think about what you talked about, 2030, the World Economic Forum agendum. You own nothing, and you'll rent everything, right? And the ability to rent here. And it's just amazing that you see that theme going on there. But Antonio, for Mr. NFT Tones, for people who want to generate residual income and not work a day in their life and just have them, how do they get started? Where do they go? How do they find where to go buy this land? What land should they look at? It's like, if I'm out there and I want to buy real estate, I need to know, hey, what's a good area? What's a bad area? Can you help us understand how would they get started to build that residual income like you did?
So there's a couple places you can go look. So there's an app called NiftyDrops.io or Nifty Drops, and that'll give you all the Ethereum drops and wax drops. And it does a pretty good job. That's how I found Cypher and how I found the Gambling Apes. But there's so much more. If you go digging, there's so much stuff, and it's constantly updated. Another place you can check is playtoearn.online. They have a ton of information about every game that's coming out on the blockchain. You could also check DApp Radar, and they have like a listing and a ranking of the top 50 games. So if you want to see what's popular, what you can get into now, you can go see what is popular and what you want to try to invest in.
Now, in terms of if they go and they buy that land, how does it work? How do they make money?
So every game is different depending on the land and the game. So in Alien Worlds, it's as simple as buying the land, going into Alien Worlds, the website, and then going into your inventory, clicking the land, set the commission, and then you never have to touch it again. You could leave it like that because you're getting paid what you want, and you can change it when you want. But ultimately, you're getting paid out pretty much daily, and you can leave it alone. You can check on it when you want. The only thing you have to do is change your TLM to wax, and that's it.
Who's paying? So who's renting it?
So basically on Alien Worlds, how it works is everybody who goes to use your land to mine pays you a commission, and that's how you're paid out.
Gotcha. Oh, this is wild. This is wild, man. This is so unbelievably wild, man. I'm just picturing like us creating a warrior virtual world, man. I can picture like I can see Kevin anytime running through the I'm stripping out over here. Like, yeah, he's tripping out over here.
Yeah.
We're live in the studio here. It's just like, wow, we're all like, what the heck is going on, man?
Well, Coach, it gets even crazier than that. So this is so big that in Decentraland, I heard that companies like Amazon and Hilton are actually buying digital billboard space in the game because they already know so many people are going to be coming into play into these virtual worlds like you just saw on the video, Ready Player One. So if all these eyes are in those video games, well, shit, they want to have their brands in there too. They're actually buying up billboard space right now today while it's still cheap. Well, versus what it's going to be, because they know this is coming.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I kicked myself because I remember looking at land in Decentraland 2 years ago for $20. $20. I'm like, I don't buy that. And NFT Tones was telling me like today it goes for $100,000. I'm like, damn, $20.
Wow.
Wow. Holy
it's crazy. It's crazy.
You guys saw that Visa bought an NFT, one of those crypto punks. So, I mean, why would they, right?
Well, I hear CryptoPunks is now in Hollywood, whatever the hell that means. I don't know the specific details, but I saw on play-to-earn.online that they're bringing them to Hollywood. So I'm presuming people are going to start using CryptoPunks for God knows what.
Yeah. And it'll be really interesting when we get a lot of the people who are currently spending 4 to 6 hours playing even just the regular games like Fortnite. I have an older brother who loves video games, owns a PC. And when I told him about Aliens World, he was really excited because he can run his PC to earn him cash. So just getting people involved in this ecosystem, and then once they realize they can be rewarded, continuing to come back, advertisers coming into additional money, they build out these ecosystems, and then here we are putting our virtual goggles on to climb into this new reality.
Yeah. Going back to the narrative too of like, think about what Jerome, I mean, let's take the economic part of it. Jerome Powell says we're coming back to a new economy leveraged towards technology. I mean, the middle class people aren't going to go to malls anymore. They're hardly going to go to restaurants anymore. Food's going to be delivered to their house. They're going to be in a virtual world, a gaming world. And I know it may seem like it's very early, but this is like getting in like at the bottom floor of buying real estate when they just invented real estate. It's like, hey, we're just going to start building land on Earth. And it's like, it's almost like that's the way I look at it. It's like, you know, let there be light. And then all of a sudden it's like whoever's like, hey, let's monetize this wood and let's start charging people for it. And all this, that's where we're at right now. We're like heading into a new earth, a new world, a new realm where you can be the earliest investors in the actual infrastructure of a new world.
Exactly, Coach. That's exactly right. And that's why those gaming coins, those gaming tokens like Engine and Mana and Gala, you know, right now you can still get them relatively, well, Mana's kind of gone up, but you can still get an Engine too, but you can still get them relatively cheap. There's still time to get in and own some of those basic fundamental gaming tokens that are going to be the backbone of some of this stuff. But again, as new games come out, they'll also have their own individual coins. And Tones, you talked about residual income and how you bought land and it's earning you money. So if people want to do it, they can just go buy land. What are some of the types are there games out there that people can play today and just make money playing games? If so, what are those in NFTs?
So you could go and play Axie Infinity, which a lot of people are, as you saw, Axie Infinity has over 1 million players. And Axie Infinity, if you play it and play competitively, there's a lot to it. Like personally, I bought Axie Infinities or Axies, and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't do my research. And so there's a lot there's so many different Axies, and they all have different parts, and there's a meta, and not knowing the meta hurt me. And so you got to learn everything you can before you start buying Axies, because now they're $280 or $300. So you're spending your money, and you want to spend it carefully. You don't want to buy crap that you can't use. So for Axies, I would definitely do your research, but there's so much money to be made because they they really give out high rewards in their season battling, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, at the end of the season, they give out rewards for first, second, third, so on.
So give us an idea, like what kind of rewards are we talking about? Like what
we're talking about a payment out in AXS, like probably 100,000, maybe 500,000 coins. So it could be a lot of money. I mean, last time I saw it was before AXS jumped so much. So I'm not sure if it's that high anymore, but it was a lot of coins at one point.
So you're saying back then when Axis was $2-3, it was paying out $100,000 almost just to play a game?
Yeah, for season rewards. That's why the Philippines and so many players got into it, because it had great revenue.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's awesome.
That's all right. Well, I guess we're all going to become gamers. I guess.
Welcome to the future.
Well, what I would recommend is definitely taking an investment in land, because there's a lot of games with upcoming land. Avagachi has an upcoming land sale. Illuvium has an upcoming land sale. Definitely be careful with that one, though. Its coin is $500 or was $500. So there's a lot of going on with games and game coins and land. So definitely always be paying attention to that type of thing, because I personally feel like, especially with the land, with some of these games, there's great potential, especially if they keep it limited.
Well, I think too, the good thing is we now have NFT Tones, our new real estate agent within the virtual world. So we're good to go. So I mean, those are future jobs. That's a future job right there. Real estate agent in the virtual world, man. This is I hope people are grasping onto this, man. That Ready Player One, we played it. Go back and watch it slowly. That was one of the ones I slowed down, and you can see like you'll see a drone dropping off Pizza Hut. You see like all the stuff that's starting to happen right now. And this, and if people are watching this baby boom and they're like, oh, that's not going to know. The Dallas Fed actually, when they do zoning, they're zoning for zone drone zoning. Basically, they're zoning properties for drone drop-offs. Wow. And so that's already happening on Dallas. I showed one of the videos. It's like they're preparing Earth for this type of stuff. And then also too on Fox News, they said there was an alien that was present. So it's all good, man. Everything is happening so fast. Yeah. We said aliens are coming, and it was funny in Arizona. There's Fox News, and they actually were dead serious. They showed like a picture of an alien. They're like, do not contact these aliens. And I thought it was a joke. They were dead serious like that. Now it's the narrative's coming out, man. So here it comes.
You're right there. Hey, Tones, you talked also about drops in cards and collectibles. What are these NFT drops that you were talking about?
So,
Can you understand that real quick?
Yeah, back on the Wax blockchain, which is where I'm mainly focused on, they do a lot of drops, a lot of card packs, a lot of art, a lot of collectibles. But in these card packs, you can get random stuff. You can get, like, in the last card pack I opened, it was a card pack for a game called Midgard Clash, and it was just weapon packs, weapon tools. And with those weapon packs, basically you'll go out and fight, but it'll be basically more like a game like Alien Worlds, but it's still in development. A lot of these games, when you give them money, basically you're funding their development to help them grow. And that's why they do such incentivizing rewards. That's why the earlier you get in a project, the more you're rewarded.
Oh, so are you saying right now some of these games aren't even developed yet?
I mean, take a look at Alien Worlds. Alien Worlds doesn't even have its PvP battling system out. It only has its mining system out. It's not even I don't even consider that a full-on game yet, to be honest. So there's a lot still to go on. Like our planet right now only has a staking system. It doesn't even have its battling system. So many games just have staking that they're not fully complete. And a lot of them are just clickers. So as time goes on, a lot of these games are going to become more and fully developed, and they'll become more what we see in traditional games. Like there's a new game coming out on the Etna network. The coin, I think, is about 30 cents right now. And basically it's a game like Mortal Kombat, and I find a lot of interest in it. And besides that, it's also a combination of crypto blades. So it's kind of like you send your troops on missions, but you can also play in tournaments and earn real cash in Mortal Kombat style combat. So it's really, really cool and something I'm going to take a look at. Definitely. I haven't invested in it yet, but I want to definitely, because they also have a rental system for their characters. And they also allow you to sell your characters back to them so you can get liquidity back if you need it, which is a really cool and a unique system, because I haven't seen that done in NFTs before.
So if you, to help our audience understand, as you're growing and learning this space, where are you the most heavily invested right now?
I'm most heavily invested right now in the Wax blockchain, and I definitely feel like that's a good starting point. They actually just got listed on crypto.com today.
Oh, Coach's favorite.
I'm going right.
Yeah, I'm going right now.
Whoa, let's go.
My cousin told me earlier today, and he was like, "Yeah, Wax got listed on crypto." I was like, "What? Really?"
Nice.
I'm going to buy some today.
There it is. There it is, right there.
Buy some chickens.
I love it.
It's all about the chickens. So NFT Tones, if people have more information and want to know more about this, how can they reach you? Do you have a website or a YouTube page, or how do they get you?
I am going to be creating my YouTube page. It is created. I have my first video coming out today or tomorrow. So just stay prepared and stay tuned.
Awesome.
All right, so maybe we can put the link down there when we have it, Coach.
Yep. Yeah, we'll shoot it down there. We'll have you back on, man, because this conversation has to continue, because this is like, I think people are still trying to wrap their heads around it. Like all I know is that, buy the rumors, sell the news. I'm buying Wax right now. I'm telling you, I'm buying it, man. I'm literally gonna go sell my car real quick. So, so what is Wax? So let's start, because a lot of people are gonna go invest in it right now. Probably, we're not financial advisors, just so you know, it's not financial advice.
So Wax is basically a coin where a lot of NFTs are on. It's basically where a lot of games are, and what I like about Wax is there's so many games and they're so distinctively different. Like if you go to Binance Smart Chain or Ethereum, there's so many clones, but on Wax, a lot of the projects, they tend to differentiate themselves, and it's nice because there's a lot of ideas. Like you'll find 4X games on there, you'll find racing games. Like there's a lot of things coming to the Wax blockchain, and it'll surprise you. Like there's a lot to look into definitely on the Wax blockchain.
Awesome. And that's WAXP, right? Is that the right one?
Yep.
Yep. Awesome.
With the P?
Yeah, so WAXP, not financial advice. We're not financial advisors. Do your own research, but I'm going to buy some right now. Awesome. Well, we're coming up on an hour in. If you don't mind, we'd love to have you back on the channel. I'm very, very grateful for this conversation. And, I think we're just helping people understand, with Ken Mack, with the NFTs, with all the stuff. We're heading into a brand new frontier, and it's exciting times right now. And the beautiful thing is, as everybody looks this way to pandemic, we're following a whole nother narrative going on this way. So I just want to say, NFT Tones, thank you so much for all your support. When you get your YouTube channel going, we definitely will have you back on so we can pump up that channel. Thank you as well. And so just think about this for just a moment, parents and people out there. Like, my daughter's 17, and she's dead set. She's like, I'm not going to college, and I'm okay with that. Because she has a game plan. She's like, Dad, I'm going to travel the world and experience. The minds are starting to expand of these young adults, and they're saying, you know what? There's more out there than just going and getting a damn job and being just over broke and being controlled by a system. And you're starting to see the young adults start to wake up to a new paradigm, and there's nothing wrong with that. So resisting that is only going to cause resistance within yourself. So as parents, maybe like me and my daughter started doing TikTok together. That's why we're here right now. That's literally why we're here right now. She's like, Dad, you need to get on TikTok. And we started building a relationship through TikTok, doing fun videos together. And here we are now. And so I listen to wise counsel from the people who are seeing the future. So we just want to continue to bring, first of all, I want to say thank you to Mario, Johnny Crypto, NFT Tones, and Abdullah. From the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of you guys. They put in so much work, Warriors. And if you want to join our private Warrior Academy, you're going to have access to all these people here. They're in our Warrior Academy. They're a part of our research team. We have our technical analysis team, and we're growing rapidly. We're just here to support you and provide an ecosystem around you so that you can take advantage of the biggest shift in, I want to say the biggest shift in generational wealth, because we're learning it's something else. But the opportunity for a normal everyday person to amass a large amount of wealth and become the narrative. And so if you want to argue about the narrative, or you can get the money and change the narrative, and that's what we're about to do. So, we'll go around the room really quickly with rapid fire. Abdullah, do you got anything else you want to add?
No, I just want to say thanks to NFT Tones. He helped me out a lot this week with the aliens world of getting started. So thanks, man.
That's
no
awesome.
problem. I'm glad I could help.
Awesome.
Yep.
Mario?
Yeah, thank you, NFT Tones. Yeah, you really opened up our minds to a lot of this NFT stuff, and it's very exciting. And it just opens up the door to more freedom. It really does.
Yes. Johnny Crypto.
Tomes, do you think you'll ever have to work a real job in your life?
I don't know. I'm hoping not, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping to keep stacking those lands and hoping that they keep building the residual income. I plan on renting out my Avigachis, and when I get my Etna fighters, I plan on renting those out. So I plan on having a lot of residual income.
Yeah, I'll end by saying this. Your parents are really lucky because you're the retirement plan. So don't forget that. Don't forget that, Johnny Crypto. All right, Warriors, we love you guys very, very much. As we always say, Warriors, rise. Get your shit together. Let's go.